Hello. Well, I'm the wrong intro. Hi guys.
God damn it.
Anyway, hello everyone. I'm just to be a not nostalgia critic. I wish.
Digimon, forever united as one. Digimon, together the battles are won. Digimon, through us let your spirit evolve. If we're all for one world, there's a world for us all. If we're all for one world, there's a world for us all. Digimon.
Hello everyone. I'm just to be the guy who does all the majority voices of Product League Fighters, and AKA and also the leader of the Retro Warriors. And with me are my faithful comrade at arms of Retro Reviewnists. Say hello.
Hello everyone, your favorite crossover fanatic here, the wild card of the Richard Warriors, and the editor and all-around randomness queen. Hello!
What's up, fuckers? You fucking peeps. This is Hazard Chaos, the resident mad scientist appearing to Retro Warriors. Screw you for whoever started that shit. But also to bring to the Retro Warriors. You know who I am.
Mad scientist. I like that.
Fuck
Anyway. Today we're going to be doing our usual retro reviewness for you guys, but before we do, I figured if for those who are new to this whole Retro Warriors thing, I figured I'd explain what we do, what it is we do and how we do it. Basically, we gather up some old television shows lately around freaking 1990s or earlier than that, or late after around mid 2000s or so, give or take. We don't want to try to go too advanced or recent, and basically we binge watch all the episodes and seasons of it, no matter how much there is. Then we talk about it, write down some notes. Within good reason. Talk about it, gather some notes, do information, help Hazard out with the information and stuff. Record our reviews and review it for you all for today, as you can see. And if you guys haven't already, be sure to check out the playlist of the Retro Warriors, because there's a lot of stuff we reviewed for you guys. So
yes, and seriously, guys, if you're gonna refer to us, at least be a little accurate with the names. I've noticed there are some of you who say they're fans, but they apparently can't recognize who's who for whatever reason.
I think it's the voice tone, but
it's kind of a little disrespectful if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's fine. It's not like we don't have any really retro reaction faces to work out with or something, you know what I mean? But I don't know. That's just me. But anyway, all that madness out of the way. Today we're reviewing.
They fight for right both day and night in every episode. Let's roll! Now it's time to hit the road. Road Rovers!
Road Rovers or whatever it's called.
It's called Road Rovers.
Yeah, my brain's off the fritz. But yeah, but yeah, this is what we're reviewing today. Superhero dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, let's say it bluntly. But if you think about the good concept, where to begin with this, there's the question.
Well, how about you tell us? Well, I guess a good way we always start this show. How about you tell us what it's about?
Okay, so Road Rovers is essentially a series about five or six dogs, depending how you look at it, who have been chosen by a scientist named Shepard, who is referred to as Master, to essentially help save
Shepard.
the world. Not Shepard from Mass Effect, if that's what some of you might be thinking.
I was thinking of a German Shepherd.
God damn it. I had a feeling that joke was coming.
Anyway, continue.
Road Rovers is essentially a short-lived animated TV series by Warner Bros. Animation. It was in Kids WB from 1996 till basically for all of 1996. But for some reason that was never fully stated. It basically was canceled after 1997. Again, they never gave a proper reason for it. And I've done a lot of digging on the matter. There's literally no information as to why they canceled it. They just basically said, you know what, this show's canceled. We're replacing with Captain Planet. Don't ask. And over the years, the show's gained a big following with a lot of people wanting the series to make a comeback. What do you think about that so far?
Yeah, seems about right, but who knows? If it's a popular show, I can imagine it.
And it all starts with in the town of New Mexico, in Socorro, New Mexico, where Professor Shep was forced to give up a experimental trans dogma fire attack to a demented general named General Parvo in exchange for his lost dog who'd been kidnapped. However, Parvo instead gave him a bomb that blows him up along his laboratory. Somehow, a year later, Shepard survives and basically takes measures, including recruiting the Road Rovers, to stop Parvo, who's trying to take over the world.
Classic villainous dialect bullshit. One villain who wants to take over the world. Nothing too cheesy about that, I suppose, huh?
The thing was, though, Shepard survived and even was able to use his trans dogma fire attack to basically recruit 5 different dogs to essentially become Kano sapiens or dog-human hybrids. And basically put, to say the least, a crazy idea, but one that actually works.
If it works, it works.
And of course, apparently over the year that he'd been supposedly dead, Shepard even went and built a state-of-the-art command center for Road Rovers. All without Parvo knowing he was alive. Then again, Parvo's probably one cocky bastard, but I digress.
Well, the more you know. Anywho. But yeah, I guess without...
Sorry about the coughing, guys. Been a little sick lately.
It's okay. I guess with all that basic backstory out of the way, maybe we should talk about the crew.
Okay, we'll start with Hunter. He's the leader of the Road Rovers, a golden retriever mixed breed. Optimistic and loyal, he can occasionally get overly cocky. Special power is super speed, which lets him run faster than the speed of sound. They think Sonic might have some competition there. I think Sonic might have some competition.
So, you're supposed to be Tom's best friend that he won't shut up about.
You're right.
Shown to be a very playful character overall and has a good relationship with everyone on the team, especially Colleen, who he has similar qualities with. And considering this show took place in the 90s... God damn it, Crossy. And considering it was the 90s at the time, Hunter was shown to be living with Bill Clinton, who was president of the United States around this time. But I digress. He was also known to have a mother, which she lived with until she was taken to an animal shelter in I can't say which episode because spoilers. Watch yourselves, guys. It's only 13 episodes, one full season because again they canceled it without any good reason. Next member is Colleen, who we've basically identified as Crossy's spirit animal in this series. No nonsense, rough collie from the United Kingdom, the only female of the group. She's also the coordinator of the team, make sure everything goes well without any problems. Meaning, in other words, she keeps their heads focused on the mission. She's also a skilled martial artist.
With these guys.
You wish.
Justin, you want to do it or should I?
Yeah!
Ow! Point proven. I'll shut
Skilled
up
martial
now.
artist, use her skills to help the team, gets along well with the team, and apparently most of the Road Rovers have a crush on her. It's obviously hinted at one point or another she has mutual things for Hunter. Of course, she also makes fun of Blitz, who's basically, the quote-unquote muscle of the group. And of course, she makes fun of him in return to the point of anger. Not much is known about her past family or her master before her current one. Blitz is basically a Doberman from Germany, basically an arrogant, selfish, and cowardly Road Rover. Has a very short temper, and usually quick to get pissed off. His superpowers are extremely super sharp claws and strong jaws, which lets him bite through and claw through almost anything. Apparently he has a thing for peppermint milkshake and biting asses. Don't ask.
He's an ass man.
You're not wrong. Had a crush on Colleen, but Unfortunately for Blitz, she just gives him nicknames, very insulting ones, like Mr. Puffy Lips or some shit like that. Also, she was formerly a guard dog for thieves, but now is apparently living with the Chancellor of Germany. His personality is basically a parody of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I don't know if his personality is Arnold's. I think his voice is more like it because he seems
Well,
like he's a German heritage.
Again, the personality was parodied after Arnold, so there's that.
Yeah, but last time I checked, Arnold doesn't eat ass like this dog does.
God damn it.
He's an ass man.
Yeah, he's such an ass, man. He likes to eat the booty.
Give me that booty. Show me
Apparently,
the
Blitz
booty.
is an expert at eating
I like the
ass.
booty.
But, god damn it! Let's be trying to be professional here. Or at least try to be.
Professional? Huh? Professional? Who do you think you're talking to?
Fair enough. Moving on.
I mean, question, have we
Exile.
ever been professional in a retro review?
You shut up. then again, it's the mad. Then again, I'm apparently the brains of this operation.
Right? Everyone needs a good nerd on a team.
Don't make me electrocute you.
Put a shock to the system.
I ain't touching that one.
You bitch.
We're not even there yet.
I
Anyway,
am so
continue.
going to get you both for this.
Anyway, let's continue with the crew.
Alright, next one is Exile. He's basically from Siberia, has a very thick Russian accent, sometimes mixing words in the process such as April Day instead of May Day, and Jingle Balls instead of Jingle Bells. This has actually happened in the series. Has a short temper but is usually kind and friendly. Has a good friendship with Blitz but does not act like when Blitz starts acting like a weird boy in front of him. Superpowers include super strength and supervision, which includes heat, freeze, and night vision. And is also as good as breaking things as he is at fixing them. In episode 3, he mentions having a father, like who he has a bad relationship with, and having a mother who he misses dearly. Exile is basically known to be a very friendly road rover, giving kisses and bear hugs to anyone who basically deserves it. And then we have Shag, an English sheepdog from Switzerland. Shag, due to some weird complications that were never fully explained, only transformed halfway to a Kano Sapien, which is, again, a dog-human hybrid. He speaks like a human, he walks like a human, but speaks in a half-dog, half-human, like, language, or something like that.
Reminds me of another talking dog who sounds like that.
Scooby-Doo.
Bingo.
He's usually the cook for the team and gets along with all the members easily. Possesses the ability to carry supplies for the team and able to carry whatever they need. Also has enough strength to lift 2 cars without any trouble. Unfortunately for Shag, he's also a big softy and a coward, and has trouble understanding most of the tech used by Road Rovers, and it tends to backfire on him. Like the time he accidentally used a rocket launcher backwards. Trust me, if you ever watch a series, you'll see for yourself. And then we have Muzzle.
Isn't that the one that Crossy calls your spirit animal?
Yep, that's a spirit animal.
You two.
I didn't say he was. It was mostly Crossy.
Crossy, we're gonna have words later.
Shut up.
I'm not in this war.
Muzzle was once Scout, who was Professor Shepard's dog who had been kidnapped. Never had been transformed to a Kano Sapien, but instead became extremely aggressive due to Parvo's multiple failed experiments on him. Because of this aggression, he's often restrained on a cart while wearing a straitjacket and a mask, and usually serves as the final attack for the Road Rovers. If they feel they're outnumbered, Hunter takes off Muzzle's straitjacket and mask and lets Muzzle go on the attack, saying, "Let's muzzle him." Oh god! And
basically your favorite incinerator here whenever a British thing goes crazy.
that, or if someone's asinine enough to insult or attack my friends, you can't deny that. There's also William Shepard, the master of Road Rovers, the geneticist who's behind the Transdogmifier and the Road Rovers themselves. and the one selected each and every one of them. Had Shepard not been around, Parvo would have successfully taken over the world with Kano mutants as his soldiers. And before you ask, Kano mutants are basically, twisted werewolf-like versions of the Road Rovers. Now we have our villains. Benno Parvo, the main antagonist who wants to destroy Shepard and conquer the world, has a permanent cost. It was revealed at some point in the series he was one time a cat for some odd reason, but was transformed to a feline sapien, or what was it, Phalosapien? I forget the actual name, but whatever. He also shares a similar appearance to wrestler Hulk Hogan. I wonder why. The name Parvo itself is surprisingly derived from a disease which can often kill puppies. And then we have the Groomer, his second in command, and his loyal assistant. Usually armed with a portable hair clipper, but also uses other equipment. And then we have the Kano mutants. Dogs turned to humanoid and werewolf-like monsters led by Parvo. As for the show itself, this show was actually on the second highest rated show in Kids WB at the time, right behind Superman the Animated Series. It got mixed reviews when it was released, but it was mostly criticized by critics and parents for its humor, which contained a lot of adult jokes, if you know what to look. As of this year, this show retains a 7 out of 10 on a few places. Again, unknown reasons, this show was canceled after only one season. Nothing said about a renewal, nothing. Just poof, canceled. So what do you guys think of the series overall?
I don't know. It's an interesting series, I'll admit.
Frothy?
Yeah, but I like it, but it's kind of obvious when it shows character development and how it shows the flashback to the origins and all that stuff.
To be fair, because that was the 90s, you kind of expect as much. Personally, I liked it. Like, the concept was great. The potential was really good. It's just a shame it didn't, actually go past season 1. I would have actually liked to see more to get a better scope of it, to be honest. The characters were actually pretty well developed in my book. They explained all the backstories as well as they could. I think the only place where it kind of falls flat was the comedy. What do you two think?
Honestly, I can somewhat agree with you on the comedy, though I feel from when I watched it, the comedy or the jokes in there were a hit and miss scenario.
I guess they never miss, huh?
Why do you do this?
You see the spray bottle?
No!
Yeah. Anywho, it's like there's nothing wrong with the jokes. It's just that some of the jokes made me laugh a bit, and some of them were just like, eh.
I hear ya.
But the animation-wise, the show itself, it seemed pretty entertaining. I wouldn't mind watching it.
Fair enough. What about you, Crosby?
Like I said before, like, it was pretty obvious. Like, it was getting pretty obvious, like, towards the end, where it showed, like, development and that stuff.
Yeah. The pacing was actually not too bad. Personally, like, I actually liked the pacing a bit. Again, the humor just felt out of place with considering the premise of the series.
I mean, the pacing was good, but to me, it kind of felt like a run-of-the-mill, villain of the week kind of show.
To be fair, most of the time it was Parvo, to be fair. I mean, then again, he was the main villain, so that was kind of expected.
Yeah, but the way they sort of did the main villain in this is sort of like the classic villain scenario. The same villain shows up over and over again. It seems to succeed at first, but then get his plans foiled, as usual, nearby the end.
Kind of like how Rita Repulsa in Power Rangers?
Pretty much.
That's
and we're not even there yet.
That's kind of expected if you think about it. I mean, it was the 90s. You kind of saw that everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, these were by the same animation team members that did Freakazoid. So it stands to reason you're going to have similar elements here and there. That and, okay, who would be your favorite characters? Honestly, I'd have to say Exile and maybe Muzzle.
Why? Because he's a spirit animal?
You are never letting that go, are you?
No.
Spray bottle.
God damn it.
Alright. But yeah, Exile, honestly, I could say this much. He's at least very blunt. He has his own tendencies, but he's usually a likable but blunt person at times. Well, dog person, whatever you want to call him. As for Muzzle, I kind of sympathize. I mean, here he was just looking for his master, and what does he get for his trouble? He got experimented on, then thrown into an animal shelter. Yikes.
Honestly, that's not the worst scenario I've heard, but there are some bad ones. That is a bad one. For example, who remembers the legend of, or the folklore tale of the dog who waited for his master to come back after not knowing he died anymore?
That's just depressing.
Alright guys, so I'm just gonna only include this because this whole dog scenario. So basically, I don't know the full story, but all I know is like this dog who was waiting for his master to come back didn't come back because I believe he died in a Japanese war or so to say. And that dog would sit there and wait night and day waiting for him. He didn't move, he didn't eat, he didn't do anything. He just basically stood there waiting to come back. Crossy could probably put up some information with a picture of the dog I'm talking about because they did make a statue of him, of that person and that dog in the honor. Because no matter how many times somebody tried to help the dog, he just wouldn't move. So, well, one day he passed away on that same spot waiting for him. That's, like I said, if anything, Muzzle's backstory reminds me of that in a way, but more fucked up kind of.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, what is you two's favorite characters from Road Rovers? I mean, I know you said the series was for you two, but the only reason I remembered it and brought it up in the first place because I barely remembered anything from it at all.
Honestly, I don't even know who brought it up, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
I'm not saying it was because it was a bad series. It was just like because I probably have to get more into it and stuff. Or
yeah, again, they needed more episodes to really pull us in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, season 1 was starting fine. I just wish there was more episodes to work with. So don't be surprised if this thing is a 1 or 2-parter, if anything, guys.
Frosty, what do you think?
I gotta agree. Like, I wish it was like enough episodes. You know, like take a stand because 13 episodes, even though like TV normal because it's for people to like grab the attention to see if they like it, but to me it could have been more like 26 episodes.
Yeah, I feel like they should have put a second season.
Yeah, like it's a show that had potential but never really gotten the chance.
A lot
to
of
more.
it. Again, I have to restate this one more time. Like, this was the second highest rated show in the Warner Brothers animation blocks, and yet it never got a second season. It got canceled after only a year. Not even a full year at that. So it's weird. And
right.
Like I said, I know you say you don't. So I'm assuming you two don't have any favorite characters from the series or characters you could probably relate to.
Who are you again?
I am going to end you. You little smart.
I love these two. I'm not sure if I have a favorite characters or what we relate to, but I don't know. I did like that butt biter dog. He made me laugh a bit when he screams. Yeah, Blitz. Only reason I want to say Blitz is a favorite character. I just liked it because all of his screams would remind me of Rose Goku Black's screams. And when I hear the Koi screams, it makes me think of the vids Crossy does for him, which makes it 10 times funnier.
Like the time she did the Mario Maker vids where basically you were Bardock and you decided to completely roast the shit out of him.
He made it too easy for me. I had to.
And that was the introduction of the friend circle. Well, of how I got into the friend circle.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember how the fuck I got dragged into it, but whatever.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. It's hard to say what character I relate to because I don't know. I guess I just don't know the characters that much. Like, as I might know them.
Fair enough. I mean, it was hard for me to pick the characters I even liked, to be honest. Because again, the show is kind of over the place in a way, but
yeah. Not like Loonatics season 2 all over the place, just a bit.
Yeah, because there was so much going
Except
on with Road Rovers at once, especially like
Except
plot-wise.
It didn't have a cringy intro.
Well,
thank God for that.
No, Road Rovers had a more lighthearted, cheery intro, but not like too cheery. It was just something that fit. Crossy, what about you? Any favorite characters? Any ones that you could feel like somewhat relatable to?
Have we met?
And going by that, her favorite's Colleen. Because apparently she has no chill and basically is sassy as shit. That's what that reminds me of.
She is waifu. She is waifu.
Of course she
You
is.
say that about a lot of female characters in the shows we reviewed.
To be fair, if they're sassy like Crossy, that's usually the case. I've created a monster in that department.
Well, to be fair, I feel like these characters are 10 times more sassier than Crossy in a mile.
He's not wrong.
Permission to throw him off the plank?
Permission to smack you upside the head? We got a review to do. Anywho. Okay, what would you say this show, like, okay, any least favorite characters overall?
I guess the main villain, because if anything, it's just fucked up what he's doing to dogs.
I have to agree. I don't particularly care for Parvo because of that. And if I'll be completely honest, Parvo is one of... I'll give Parvo credit where it's due, though. This is a guy that's almost successfully bought out the entire world. Yes, this actually happened in the series.
I mean, hey, everybody has a price, though.
Very true. And can't deny that for all of his antics, so to speak, Parvo is actually a very carefully... He's one of those dedicated villains. He just happens to have his plans ruined a lot.
If anything, he does have some interesting villains. He's not a top villain in my book, but he does have interesting villain goals, achievements he has pulled off.
Yep.
Like as I said, how he's able to buy the fucking world.
Yeah, like I said, this actually happened in the series. He actually somehow was able to nearly buy out entire sections of the entire planet.
Like I said, everybody has a price.
Crossy, what do you think? Who would be your least favorite character?
The main villain and his assistant.
Groomer?
Mostly his assistant because I think we all know what she wanted.
That is obvious.
Need no sweets. Goku date me?
Never.
You wanted to be from basically a guy who looks like a knockoff Hulk Hogan. Yeah, have fun with that, lady.
Oh yeah!
No!
Oh yeah!
Okay, moving on. I see if there's not really much we can talk about overall from this. Considering
yeah, but unless we want to say like favorite episodes and stuff.
Favorite episode? I can't really pick a favorite. They were all good in their own right. They all had their strong points and their weak points.
Yeah, I can't really say either one as well because they didn't really impact me enough where to make a favorite, but I did like them.
Like, I can't. I tried really hard to think about it. I haven't actually, on my own time, watched this series twice over, like a second time, but I could not think of any episode that really stood out to me. Like, they all had their strong and weak points. That's literally the best way I can describe it.
Yeah. Anyway.
What about you two? Any strong, like, any episodes that stood out, or the same thing for you? Like, they had their strong and weak points?
Same thing.
You pretty much knocked it out of the ballpark for me. Strong and weak points, to be honest.
Yeah, it's understandable. If you watch the series, like, you'll see what... I mean, if you guys ever watch the series for yourselves, I mean, by all means, you might have a favorite episode here or there. It's just for me, there was a few episodes that had their strong points and a lot of good ones. But at the same time, there was an episode too that had their really weak points.
Yeah.
I mean, they explained the backstory well for all the main characters, so there was that.
Pretty much. If anything, the way they explain the backstory of the characters reminds me of how Loonatics did theirs, to be honest with you.
To be fair, though, Loonatics dragged it out a good bit. In the case of Road Rovers, they were straight to the point within the first few episodes. They didn't, like, mince words. They wanted to get to know the characters before we got the backstory. So there's that. That
is true. But, I don't know if you guys want to rate this show, or we just move on to, like, a final question.
Honestly, personally, I'd rate this show a 7 out of 10, mainly because of... I'm being a little bit generous here. I was going to give it a 6 out of 10, but looking at the story more closely, the story was well explained for the most part, so I'll give that a 7 out of 10. So good plot development and, you know, consistent characterization. But I have, but like I said, I would have, had it been just that, I would have given it a 9 out of 10, but I give it a 7 because of the lack of, you know, more plot. The development was good, don't get me wrong, it's just, I wish there was more to it.
Right. What about you, Crossy?
I agree.
What's your rating?
Agree with Hazard?
Cause like I said before, it wasn't too obvious on the whole development thing. I mean, I just wish there could have been more episodes.
I mean, considering how much material they were trying to put...
I kind of give it a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10.
That's fair. Like we said before, the humor was all over the place, personally, for me, so that's why I gave it a lower score. Like, I feel like they could have done better with the humor, or, you know, not tried so hard with it, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Justin, what about you? Because I know Crossy here gave it a similar score to mine.
Honestly, with you guys, it's a tough one, but I would honestly give it a 5 or a 6 out of 10, to be honest with you guys.
That's fair.
Like, as Hazard and they both said, nothing wrong with it. It was, like, nothing wrong with it. Animation was great. The cartoon was humor. Hell, they even got the voice actor of Brain for picking the brain.
This is true. So, they brought in the Brain. He apparently was in jail at some point. Don't ask.
Though unfortunately, they also brought in the voice of Fanboy for an episode, but I
digress. We don't talk about Fanboy!
Right, but anywho, as I was saying, the reason I give it a 5 or a 6 out of 10, it's because, well, like I said, it's not that there's anything wrong with the show. Here's the thing. When it comes to certain cartoons, live TV shows, or movies, you really gotta work hard to impact me in a bit. Like, if it's gonna be something I like, if it's gonna be the characters I'm gonna like, or the story, or the action itself, or something that just drives my attention, that's how it works. Like, for me, I always have this rule, if it's where, no matter whatever the show is, if I never heard of it, or have heard of it, and I just want to see it, if I like it, I always watch 5 episodes. After 5 episodes, if I like it, I continue watching the series to its fullest. If I don't, I move on. This I had no choice. Yeah, if anything, after watching 5 episodes, I say I would stop and then come back to it another time. It's like, yeah, you know what? I'll finish the rest of it, see if I like it or not. It's one of those shows for me, to be honest with you. Like, it's got good characters, but the jokes were all hit and misses on me. Like, there was some I chuckled at, there was some I laughed at, but there was some I was like,
some that were painfully obvious.
Some were too painfully obvious, and some of them were just make me have dead silence, and you would hear crickets going off in the background.
Like some of the dog puns that were made, and there were quite a number of them. I mean, I know they were. I could tell they weren't trying too hard with the dog puns. They were trying to, just keep things somewhat consistent with the characters, and I can applaud them for that. But overall, they could have done better.
Yeah, though, if anything, I shouldn't be too harsh on them for the dog puns, because here's the thing. When it comes to shows like these, those are the type of jokes you would expect in a child show, in a cartoon show in a way. Because if it's about a group of crime-fighting dogs and stuff, you're gonna see a lot of dog jokes. If it's like the Mighty Ducks, you might see duck jokes and shit like that.
Or SWAT cats, you're gonna hear cat jokes, and there's quite a lot of cat jokes.
And who knows? And hell, there's a lot of turtle jokes in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series of all those shows. You know?
And
like I said,
there's been a few dog jokes in Scooby-Doo, so that's all expected. So that's all well within, expected, like in terms of humor. You're pretty much gonna expect to hear those. And we don't mind that, to be honest. It's just I feel like some of the humor in general could have been a little bit better.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I give it a 5 or a 6 out of 10, to be honest, because it's a hit or miss. But overall, it's a good series. I recommend you guys watch it. You might enjoy it, and who knows, you might enjoy it. And like we always said, these are our opinions. You don't have to go buy off of them. Give it a watch for yourself, and you might have a different result.
Exactly. And to be perfectly honest, it's like, again, it's 13 episodes. You could probably binge watch in like maybe a few hours. It's really not that long a series. Warner Brothers, again, never really explained why they took it off the air, but they did. Cartoon Network picked it up like maybe a year after, but keep in mind, guys, this is a series that a lot of fans want to see brought back. I mean, you gotta figure there's something good about this series that people want to bring it back. And it's been roughly a good 20-something years since the series was on the air. That should tell you something.
Yeah, if anything, it doesn't make me want to say doesn't make me want to say like all those people are just idiots for saying shit like that. No. If anything, for people who say they want the show back, that just shows me they thought the show had amazing and great potential, that they wanted to make a comeback or another season of it, where it had a second highest viewing of Warner Brothers back then.
Frosty, what do you think on this?
I agree.
Anything else you want to say to that besides I agree?
Like, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's just that I have no words.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like I said, this series credit, it holds up well in my opinion. The animation aged well, the plot aged well, the comedy not so much, but that's just me.
Right.
So,
anywho,
the question to be asked is, does the
show still hold? Yeah. Does the show still hold up? I'm gonna be honest with you. I would say, not like a bad, just more like in the middle.
I'd say it does, mainly because of the potential it could have.
Yeah, it does hold up, but it holds up a little. I'm not saying it by a lot, but it holds up.
Like I said, it's just mostly the potential this series had. Had it been given a second season, I imagine it would have held up pretty well.
Pretty much.
I mean, they were on a roll.
But what do you think, Crossy? Do you think it still holds up?
Yep, it does.
Alright.
So our overall score, guys, we give it a 6 out of 10. We're trying to be very generous here. It's
yeah, given what...
it's still missing a good bit to it.
Like we said, don't be surprised if this is a 1 or 2-part, or somehow squeezed into a 3-parter of what we talked about.
I doubt it, to be honest.
Well, given our take of how this is edited, we'll find out then. Well, in that case, this will be the end of the Retro Wars. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and comment down some TV shows or childhood shows you guys remember, and maybe we could be able to review them. as well.
Yeah, just try to avoid stuff that could potentially be major copyright hassles, please.
Yeah, we like what we do, please.
Yeah,
But yeah,
as it stands from when I last checked, we have over 150 something shows to look over right now.
and it's still going because we find more shows that needs reviewing.
And these are all the shows that, after I did some careful filtering, do not have copyright issues attached to them. Keep this in mind. And at one point we had a whole bunch more shows like from Disney and whatnot, but because of Disney and certain other companies having copyright issues or whatever, we have to take a bunch of them down. That took roughly a third of our total list off. We still have a lot.
Pretty much. Yeah, we still have a lot. Don't worry. And trust me, we're gonna keep. And honestly, I doubt we're gonna run out of shows anytime soon. Because no matter if we took that, even if we did one episode, we're still gonna. Not only we have the list to go through, we're gonna end up finding more shows to review because of things on Twitter and people have been talking about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I guess we'll see you next time. Stay out, ciao, peeps, or say bye, peeps.
Later.
Yeah. Sorry. Later, everybody.
Later, fuckers.
Later.
The next time on Retro Warriors.
I want my humanity back.